Chances are you've heard of 6-0 before, but did you know that they have a full lineup of amazing paddles? In this video, we're gonna go through each paddle and find the right paddle for you. Let's get into it. Not only did we test this paddle, but we tested all of them. And then out of all those, which one did you say is your favorite?
I think I liked...
Before we start, we'll do an overview of all of 6-0's paddle lines. First, the Gem series. This includes the Ruby and the Sapphire. The Diamond series has the Black Diamond as well as the Double Black Diamond in both 14 and 16 millimeter. The Infinity series is 6-0's super clean edgeless paddles coming in both the Black Diamond and Double Black Diamond. We're going to take a close look at each of these paddles to find the right one for you. The Ruby. This is probably 6-0's most popular paddle. It normally comes in at $199, but with code PADDLELABS you can get a discount. It has a grip of 5.5 inches, a weight of 8.2, a swing weight of 117, and a twist weight of 6.76. Unique to the Ruby is its Kevlar fiber face. The cross-weave cloth pattern makes for a great looking paddle, but we'll see how the Ruby is able to perform in a spin test. We're going to be looking at the angle of the ball going in and leaving the paddle. This will be used to calculate each paddle's spin score. The deformation on impact of this Franklin X40 is a perfect example of why grit matters with pickleball paddles. The more grit on the paddle, the more spin can be produced and the more power you can put behind the ball. Overall, the Ruby is an excellent paddle for control and spin, with the Kevlar face earning a score of 90. I took the Ruby and all the other 6-0 paddles to my local courts.
I definitely liked the Burgundy Ruby better. Is the material maybe, it's still got tons of grit. You can feel so I could really spin the ball.
I thought this one was smooth. I like the way that it hit. I feel like it got a decent amount of spin. This one was a little bit heavier than this one. This one's probably better for net play, quicker hands. This was probably better for my drives.
Included with the Ruby is this protective paddle cover, and if you want to cop this paddle, use code PADDLELABS for a discount. Next is the Jaume Black Diamond. It comes in at 16 millimeters thick and slightly weighted compared to the normal Black Diamond, which we'll get into later in the video. This paddle's super gritty fiberglass face can grip the ball with ease to create a lot of spin. We've got our Titan, it's locked and loaded and ready for the power test. I have the frame tilted a little bit so the paddle can stay at this 45-degree angle. Here we can see the 6-0 fiberglass in action and how well it grips the ball. If you want a power paddle that has great spin, this is the paddle for you. It also has a forgiving sweet spot that allows you to place the balls where you want.
I like that it's heavier, comes like pre-weighted almost, I think to about 8.4 is what I think I read. It's got good power, touch seems good. It's a little heavy out at the end for what I like. I like mine less head heavy, but otherwise it's a great paddle. I like it. Good spin, good touch, good power.
Next, we have the Double Black Diamond. This here is the 14 millimeter edition, so it'll feel a little bit different than the 16 millimeter, which we'll get to later. This carbon face paddle comes in at 8.1 ounces with a swing weight of 115 and twist weight of 6.58. Although the Double Black Diamond paddles are 6-0's control line, the 14 millimeters of this paddle will still be able to create a lot of good power behind the ball. Also, I did melt the ball machine just a little bit with how close I had the light to it. The carbon fiber face held up pretty well in the spin test. Now we'll see it in slow motion, and that right there is why Vulcans go out of round. This hybrid of control and power held up pretty well in the spin and power sections. The only slight downside is that the sweet spot is slightly smaller when compared to the other 6-0 paddles, which is a pretty high bar considering they make amazing paddles. Some players might find this paddle a little slower at the kitchen line, but if singles is your go-to event, this might be the perfect paddle for you. The Sapphire is a perfect paddle for beginners or those wanting to get started in pickleball. This affordable paddle comes in at under $100 and can be cheaper with the PADDLELABS code. This is the party colorway, which has a paint on grit, and the other colorway has a carbon fiber face. The paint on grit typically wears away a lot quicker than raw carbon fiber does. This of course differs for each person depending on how often you play and your play style. But the party colorway does look a lot cooler than the boring black carbon face one. In the spin test, the party colorway held up alright, but taking into account the paint on grit, I gave it this score. I'd say overall for the price, the Sapphire is a great paddle to get started in pickleball. If you have that friend who you want to introduce pickleball to, this would be a perfect gift for them. This edgeless paddle is 60's Black Infinity Diamond. This is one of 2 edgeless paddles that they make, the other one being the double Black Infinity. The edgeless paddles have a super clean and sleek look, while still being thermoformed, so it still has durability, control, and power that you need with your shots. Now let's take a look at that in slow motion. When compared against the regular Black Diamond, the Infinity leans a little more on the control side of the spectrum. It's a 16mm thick paddle, which is good middle ground for power and control. The low swing weight of the paddle makes it super agile at the kitchen for fast speed ups and counters. The grit of the fiberglass face is very solid, and it seems as though it's pretty durable to keep the grit on the paddle for a while. This will allow you to keep hitting your crazy topspin or your slice returns well into using this paddle. The second edgeless paddle by 60 is this double Black Infinity Diamond. Similar to the last one, it comes in at 16mm, but where it differs is this one has a carbon fiber face. This one also comes in at swing weight 110 and a twist weight of 5.9. In my opinion, the white edgeless looks a lot better than the black and gray colorway of the Black Infinity Diamond. Other than looks though, these 2 paddles also differ when it comes to control. Since this is part of the double Black Diamond family, this paddle leans more on the control side, especially when compared to the other Infinity. Compared to the original Black Diamond, the Infinity might be slightly better for your resets, drops, and dinks. Overall, the double Black Infinity Diamond is a super solid control paddle. If you have trouble getting up to the kitchen line, this will be the paddle for you. The Black Diamond is 60's premier power paddle. It comes in at just a little under $200 and a thickness of 16mm. Its fiberglass face is able to produce a ton of spin. This is partnered with a 113 swing weight and a 6.75 twist weight. The main difference between this one and the Jaume version we saw earlier is this one's slightly lower static, swing, and twist weight. The static weight only differs by 0.3 ounces, which is not huge, but can be enough for some players to notice the difference if they're hitting both side by side. This one, when it comes to power, great, spin, great. The sweet spot is also very forgiving.
The main difference I can tell is the head weight on the Diamond is a little heavier, but the drives are more effortless. So I can drive the ball harder with less effort, and I'm getting a lot of spin and a lot of more pop than the YOLO. So I do like that, and I guess head weight isn't that big of a deal. It's only a few ounces, so I don't really feel the difference in my speed, but definitely more pop than the YOLO, and I'm definitely getting more spin too. It's just effortless drives. So I'm probably gonna buy this.
Awesome. How long have you been playing with that YOLO?
I've been playing with this for about 6 months now. I'm pretty used to it. So I feel comfortable with both of them, but it's just easier to get power on this one. So especially when I'm getting an overhead smash, all I gotta do is basically just touch it, pop it up, it'll send it all the way back. So yeah, definitely getting more spin and more pop for sure. Looks like the head is roughly the same, maybe a little wider on the Diamond, but as you can see, sweet spot, that's my forehand, that's my backhand, so sweet spot's pretty solid.
And you like the one-handed backhand?
Yes, so for a one-handed backhand, that's pretty accurate.
Now, last but not least, the double Black Diamond. This control paddle is super solid. It comes in at 16mm with a carbon fiber face. Has a static weight of 8.1 ounces with a swing weight and twist weight of 113 and 6.75. The great twist weight of this paddle gives it a large and forgiving sweet spot to give you more room for error when trying to slow down balls and reset them into the kitchen. This paddle is not far behind the Ruby when it comes to the soft game and will help you get to the kitchen with your thirds and resets. What this paddle lacks in agility, it benefits in stability. Each metric is a give and take, so if you want a large sweet spot with great stability, this is the paddle for you.
I hit all of these.
So go through all the paddles that you hit.
All right, so the double black diamond played with. I liked it. Wasn't my favorite of the 4 that I hit. I just felt the hand speed was good, being a little thinner, but felt like I needed a little more power with it. Compared to the black diamond, I definitely felt as I think one of my favorites of the bunch. Had a little more plow through, a little more heavier, but still pretty good hand speed. Dinking, I felt it to be pretty soft still, so pretty good. The double black diamond infinity, I was pretty impressed without having the edge guard, how still it felt pretty stable. I was surprised by that. It's a little softer, it felt like, so dinking and everything, my drops felt pretty good with it. And then the ruby was pretty interesting, definitely different feel with the Kevlar, I felt, but I felt like I still had pretty good power with it.
Out of all those, which one did you say is your favorite?
I think I liked either the black diamond or the ruby. Probably the black diamond. So it's probably my favorite.
All right, cool. Thanks so much, AJ.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys so much for watching until the end of the video. Comment down below your favorite paddle. And if you guys want to learn more about 6Zero's awesome paddles like the Ruby, check the link below and use code PADDLELABS at checkout. Till next time, peace guys.